friends, and welcome back to another yummy episode on the Afrofood Diary. My name is Geraldine, and in today's video I'll be showing you my recipe for a simple shrimp fried coconut fried rice. Yeah, and I have 2 cups of parboiled rice in that pot, and over here I'm going ahead to blend up some coconut flakes. Yeah, this is the coconut from my authentic coconut rice recipe. If you haven't seen that recipe, please do well to check it out for step by step on how I get out this coconut milk. You can as well use the regular store-bought packed coconut milk for this. So I'm just straining the blended coconut right now. So here it is. We may not be using everything, but you need extra in case you need to add a little bit more to your rice. The reason why I have all this. Yeah, so I'll set that aside and introduce us to the rest of the ingredients. Here I have chicken stock. Here I have some green beans cut into those sizes. I have some sweet corn here. I have a green pepper in cubes. I have 2 chopped carrots and 1 big chopped purple onion. Yeah. So these are the major ingredients. Let's start cooking. The spices and everything you will need during the cooking process. So next, to the parboiled rice, 2 cups of rice, I said, I will add enough milk to reach like half of the height of the rice, if that makes sense. Yeah, and once I'm done with that, I'll go in and add the chicken stock. Yeah, I steamed this and dropped in the fridge, reason it's in that form. Okay, so bearing in mind that I already steamed the chicken stock, like the chicken stock I'm using, I already boiled it with some spices. The only ones I'll be using for this recipe are what you have here, which are like half a teaspoon each of turmeric, curry powder, and all-purpose seasoning. Yeah, I also have habanero pepper there, which I wouldn't add again because the chicken was steamed out with some pepper already. So I will save that pepper for later on. Once it comes to a boil, I'll be able to taste and be sure that I need pepper before I add. I'm being careful. You already know my story with pepper. So once I've tasted, I'll go in with some of the pepper, just half of it, not everything. I'll try to get that into the rice and then go ahead with a little bit more salt. Remember, at this point, I had tasted it first and was sure that I needed to add that salt. So you taste as you cook, like we always do it, right? So I'll give that a little bit of a stir, not too much. And you can see I still have a little water in that pot. So I'll cover it now to cook until the rice is well done. And then I will save the rice in the fridge to cool down. Meanwhile, I'll be using shrimp as a protein of choice for this recipe. Reason I called it a simple shrimp coconut fried rice. Okay, in there I've got 2 seasoning cubes and 2 bay leaves. Yeah. So over here I have coconut oil. This is organic coconut oil. I'll be using that to fry the vegetables. Okay, but you can make use of any oil available to you. Coconut oil will give it that coconutty taste. Yeah, so if you want that extra coconutty taste, be sure to use coconut oil for this. So I'll be using about 1.5 tablespoons of the coconut oil, which I will allow to melt into this hot pot before we move on. So once the oil is hot enough, I'll be pouring in the sliced up purple onions. This is like a big purple onion sliced up like this. So I'll be sauteing that in for about 30 seconds to 1 minute on medium to high heat. So while that is going on, I like to put a little pinch of salt into it, just so the flavor in the onions can release. A very big shout out to Tasty City Ezinne's Kitchen. Virtuous gist and skills, Nwanyi Igbo. And yeah guys, the reason I'm doing this shout out is that my channel is 1 year in a few days, and instead of making a whole new video to appreciate my OGs and I'll be doing that within my videos henceforth, okay, starting from today. So stay tuned. So while the onions is sauteing, after like 30 seconds to a minute, like I told us, I added the seasoning cubes and the bay leaves. I didn't use the bay leaf to boil my rice, so reason I'm adding it to this sauce right now. But you can boil it alongside your rice if you want to. So the first vegetable to go in after the onions and the spices is carrot, because it's the harder of all of them. So I'll saute that for only a minute and add the rest of the habanero pepper. Yeah. And guys, remember to use as much pepper as you can tolerate, okay? Next, the next vegetable is the green beans. So I'll stir that in as well and give it another 30 seconds to 1 minute. So you'll notice that I'm layering this in stages, like you add the hardest vegetables first and then the softest goes last, and you taste as you cook, like I'm doing here. So the next thing to add is the shrimps, the prawns, yeah, whatever you call it, but they are cleaned and well washed and then drained on paper towel, so it's not so wet. So once the prawns are in, I'll stir everything together so that the prawns get its own taste into this stir fry. So next, I'll be adding the sweet corn. The corn is coming this late because it's already cooked, right? Yeah, so the sweet corn is already cooked. Reason it's going in now, but it needs to also add its own flavor into the mix. So at this point, I'll be taking out the bay leaf since I don't want it to get all crushed up in the mix. By now, I've gotten as much flavor from it as I desire. So last but not the least is the green pepper. Yeah, I'm adding it last because I want some of the crunch in it to remain by the time this rice is done. So, and as soon as I add it, I'll stir everything together for not more than 30 seconds, and I will taste to see that everything is together. So now is the perfect time to add the rice. And like I said, the rice, after I had finished cooking it, I scooped them into a bowl and kept in my fridge, just so as to facilitate the cooling process. You need the rice as cool as possible. You can as well save it in your fridge the day before and make this fried rice the next day, but because of this video I needed to make everything from scratch, okay? So the colder the rice, the better, so it doesn't get mushy as you stir fry it. And you will observe that I'm doing this in one pot. This is like the fastest method to do this, and I like to do this with an oversized pot. You can as well use a big wok if you have one, but from here what you're doing is stir frying the rice until it's well fried. And mind you, be careful with the rice not to mash it up. You want it fluffy, right? So, and another tip is to add your rice stage by stage. You don't want to overcrowd the vegetable with the rice, okay? So add it bit by bit and stir in until the rice and the veggies become like 50-50. None should be bigger than the other. At least that's the way I like it. So you will notice I'm doing that stage by stage, and you can see the fluffiness. After everything is done, like after I'm done getting all the rice into the mix, I'll stir fry it together for a good 3 to 4 minutes, like my fingers showed us earlier. I'll be doing this for 3 to 4 minutes on medium to low heat. So now is the appropriate time to taste for salt. After which I needed to add a little bit salt. That's like about 2 pinches, not up to half a teaspoon. So but from here you adjust everything to your taste. The amount of seasoning cubes, the amount of salt depends on your taste, the amount of pepper as well. Yeah, so I'll stir that in, and I'll be tasting it again. So I'll stir it again and taste again, and the rice is ready. I'll say a big shout out again to Maureen Acho. Shout out to you, Stella Marix TV again, TY Vlogs, Lizzie Doubled, Christiana Akuru, Bukola Ori, Ziki's World, my darling, Queen Varieties Channel, No Sagel TV, Chinwe Ozomo, Aegis Food Corner, and Shola of DN Vlogs Life, Life with Rosie Ogo, Susi, Jessica Osas, to Jessica, Josephine Kadia, to Arabi's Kitchen, All African Kitchen, Nelicious TV, Brenda Space, Helen Helvron, Angela Olui, Bella Presh, Extra Steps CEO, Sisifumi TV, BB London Family, Andy Watts TV, Zaka Lahoreka, Elom Bansa, Mr. Olase, E. Brooks, Nkechi Eze, Calvin J., and all my lovely people out there. Thank you so much for being there with the Afrofood Diary. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video where I'll continue this list. It's very long, it's very long. Have a beautiful day, fam. Bye-bye.